Each year also we like to make a special recognition of someone who has made a significant impact on the cause of Christ, because that's what your college has always been about. I think you've seen that in the chorus. I think you see that as we walk across campus. And I think you understand that all of us who came to this place came to it for various reasons, but we all left changed. One of the people that I think has made one of the greatest impacts is Dennis Cady, class of 1966. Dennis has been an entrepreneur and a missionary all his life. He spent decades working to improve the lives of people in developing countries. His recent focus is in South Sudan, where he's building a Christian vocational school that will house 7 men and women. But he's done missions and humanitarian work in Malaysia, Indonesia, Haiti, Philippines. He actually got his start in his love for missions while he was a student at York College. One of the very first students in our Master's Apprentice program. He traveled and saw the world doing mission work and just fell in love with doing mission work and furthering the cause of Christ. He operates his own nonprofit organization called the Starfish Foundation. It comes from a story about a boy walking along a beach and throwing starfish back in the water before they dried out and died. When someone pointed out that you couldn't possibly make a difference because of all the starfish that were washed up on the shore, he responded, "I made a difference to that." Dennis seeks to make a difference in this world, one person, one starfish at a time. He provides humanitarian and biblical teaching around the world. In addition to his mission work, he's been a successful businessman. He's supported York College in great and meaningful ways, and he sets a great example for others in the way you can conduct business and use the proceeds that you make from that business to serve God. He's the author of a memoir, Go Ye, Make Me, Missionary Adventures of Dennis Cady. So I'd like to introduce to you and have him come to the podium, Dennis Cady.
I'd like to thank very much the people that are responsible for me standing here this morning. This is very humbling. I grew up on a Kansas farm just barely across the state line in a good family. My father was an elder in Presbyterian Church for about 25 years. My mother was a treasurer there. My graduating class had 7 members. My high school, freshman through senior, had 35. I wanted to go to a small school. I wanted to go to school close to home. And I wanted to go to a Christian school. And my definition of that at the time was church affiliated. I came to York. I obeyed the gospel here. At the end of 2 years, I was sent to Malaysia under the oversight of the York elders and the Master's Apprentice program. It wasn't even named yet. They named it the second year that I and Marshall Pryor from Imperial were in our respective countries. Spring break of my freshman year, I took Joyce Duncan, one of my classmates, home to Hollis, Oklahoma, so I could visit Westview Boys Home. And that was a treat. I remember charging Joe McGuire $40 because we took him home and went by way of Quanah, Texas, and there was somebody else. I hope I didn't charge Joyce because I ate their food for a couple of days, but that was my way of financing my trip to Westview and meet the sights. While I was in Malaysia, the Master's Apprentice program, I met my wife, and we married. So the 2 years at York and the 2 years in the Master's Apprentice program shaped the rest of my life. Bob Pierce, founder of World Vision, said, Let my heart be broken by the things that breaks the heart of God. And that has nothing to do with the brand of tennis shoes you wear. I see two big differences between the class of '66 and those who are nearby that and young people today. One's negative and one's positive in my judgment. On the negative, your generation is not near as concerned as we were about doctrinal soundness. That bothers some of us that are older. On the positive, you are a roll up your sleeves, get involved with, and help make a difference in your world. It may be mentoring a troubled child, or building a church building in Mexico, or even digging a water well in South Sudan, or whatever else is on your list, but I commend you for that. Collectively, we have the time and talents and money to make a lot of differences. What would Jesus do? It has to be more than a bracelet that some of us wear. I get so frustrated, I think sometimes angry, hearing about all of the whining and the moaning because we have 7% unemployment in our country. That means we have 93% employment. Do you know how many countries would like to have 93% employment? In 2 weeks, I'll be visiting an orphanage that we fund and support in Haiti, where they have over 60% unemployment. We are so very blessed. People are still lined up to get into this country, and they're sure not lined up to get out of it. We live in a broken world, but we can make a difference. Because of that, we work through, in part, our foundation. I'd encourage you to Google that. thestarfishfoundation.net. Don't forget the you're going to get somebody else's foundation, but thestarfishfoundation.net. I heard of a conversation one time between two men. One said, sometimes I think I would like to ask God why He allows so much poverty and injustice and suffering in the world when He could do something about it. You ever say, why don't you ask Him? Because I'm afraid He'll ask me the same question. Make a difference, folks, and thank you very much